Super Fan representing nothing but the respect. Las Vegas, Kansas City, Los Angeles in the AFC. Denver, San Francisco, Arizona, Minnesota, Seattle, yo, and Buffalo. Miami, Cincinnati, and Chicago. New York, AFC, and New York, NFC. New England, New Orleans. Pittsburgh, Dallas, Washington, D.C. Houston, Jacksonville, and Atlanta, Carolina, Detroit, Los Angeles in the NFC. Green Bay, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Cleveland, Indianapolis, and Tennessee. Representing the elite super fan. Yo, what up? Nothing but the respect. Gotta send the shots out to my brother Jason. Iron Man. Damn, I just gave up because I didn't. Anyways, it's time to suit up. That's right. My DJ. What up, Homer? Big Bad Wolf. The Ghost from the 209. And my brother Jester from Vegas. Yo, what up, Bangs? Heard you make some bomb barbecue. We got the entire ESF right here. Let's do this. We got a big tailgate party to represent here. ESF. Elite. Super. Fan. Respect. It's dramatic fact. Here.
All right. Welcome back, Elite Superfans, to the Elite Superfan Show, Week 9. Hey, how you doing, Fred Kilmartin?
I'm doing great. Ready for another week in the NFL. It was an interesting week last week, and I'm hoping to see some more games like we had last week. A lot of entertaining games this past weekend. A lot of upsets.
Did you keep track of your record as far as your predictions?
No, I didn't actually. I forgot to. I was in shock after watching the Bills-Patriots game, so I kind of lost it after that game. So.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, I'm just glad that we got out of Cleveland with a W, man. We needed that win. Now, if we can just get this win this weekend, we're off to the races. All right, cool.
Yeah,
and
you guys
so
actually had a good game. I kind of thought you guys would pull that out, man. I really thought you guys would pull that game out. I was impressed with the way they played. Carr had a good game.
Yes, he did. And then Josh Jacobs too, man, playing the Gruden ball, running the rock like he did. That was something special to see. That's the kind of football I like. Tough, hardcore, grinding football.
Yeah, the old school way. Grind the ball, grind the clock.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. So our guests tonight are Signature Saint and Mooky Bucs, because each week we will highlight the Sunday night football game, and that's where we'll have the super fans coming in from that game. And we'll also talk about our game of the week, which is Seattle and Buffalo. So that's a cool thing. I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to that, huh, Fred?
Oh, yeah, more than you know. I just want to get it done and over with.
All right, cool. All right,
we feel weak because we don't have Bills Mafia up there. That's what the problem is. We need Bills Mafia in the house, and we don't have fans up here in upstate New York. So,
yeah, man, COVID has messed up everything. Now there's talk about 16-team playoff. So, it's just been a strange year to say the least.
Yeah, they're actually, the NFL's tinkering around with it right now. They're looking to have 8 teams from each conference. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And they're also looking at the number 1 seeds no longer going to have that first round bye. They're going to actually be playing the number 8 seeds. So it's going to be a different football year all around. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. So we got our guests in the backstage right now. So let's go ahead and get through the predictions segment. We got Denver and Atlanta. Denver is coming in. Let's see. They got the 27th ranked offense, 17th as far as yards, 17th in rushing, 25th in passing, and 27th in points per game on offense. And on defense, they are 17th in yards per game, 18th in rushing yards, and 16th in passing yards, and 26th and that's 18th in points per game. And then Atlanta, this one looks like, I don't know. It doesn't look too good. Matt Ryan is like he is the leading passer though in the league. But their offense is coming in 6th as far as overall yards, 19th rushing yards, 2nd in passing yards, and then 14th in points per game. And their defense is 28th in overall yards, 6th in rushing yards, and 31st in passing yards, and 22nd in points per game. So how do you see this game going down?
Well, I mean, you got to look at Locke right now for the Denver Broncos. I think that win last week over the Chargers boosted this young kid. Another thing is his receivers are starting to get healthy, so they've won the last 3 out of 4 games. I think that they're going down there in Atlanta, and they got a porous defense. So I think the Denver Broncos are going to continue their win against Atlanta.
Okay. And then we'll take a quick look at Baltimore and Indianapolis. Baltimore, man, they got a stout defense. 6th in yards per game, 7th in rushing yards, 10th in passing yards, and 2nd in points per game. Their offense, 20th in overall yards, 1st in rushing yards, 31st in passing yards, and 8th in points per game. They're definitely going to be trying to run the ball. Indianapolis, they are 5-2 as well as Baltimore. The Colts coming in on offense, 17th in yards per game, 25th in rushing yards, 11th in passing yards, and 10th in points per game. And on defense, they are 2nd in total yards, 2nd in rushing yards, and 5th in passing yards, and 5th in points per game. So this is going to be an interesting little matchup. Baltimore likes to run, and the Colts can defend against the run. So it's going to be interesting to see Lamar Jackson try to step up his game. He's a pretty good passer, though. So what do you think about this game?
Well, I think I'm gonna take what the history tells. And right now, the Indianapolis Colts are 6-0 against the Ravens, including playoffs all time. And the way that Phillip Rivers is playing, I'm gonna give this to the home team in this one. I just think that they're gonna have too much firepower, and the Colts do have a defense over there. So I give this one to the Colts.
Okay. All right, now on to Houston and Jacksonville. Battle of the 1-6 teams. Houston is 15th in yards per game on offense and 32nd in the rush, 5th in the passing, 22nd in points per game. And on defense, they are 30th in overall yards, 31st in rush, 21st in pass, and 30th in points per game. Now, Deshaun Watson, he is a damn good player, so we'll see what happens with that. Then let's see. Jacksonville. Oh, my computer, man. Quit jumping around on me. Their defense is 28th in passing, so I can see Watson having a good game. 31st overall yards, 28th rushing, and 31st points per game. This is Jacksonville on defense. And then on offense, they are 24th in yards per game, 30th in rushing yards, 20th in passing yards, and 26th in points per game. So what's your prediction on this one?
I'm going to have to give it to the visitors. The Texans have beat the Jags 5 times in a row now, so I'm going to continue that. I think they're going to go 6 times in a row against them, so I'm going to give it to the Texans.
There you go. All right, cool. Now, Carolina and Kansas City. Oh, my God. I'm so tired of seeing Kansas City win. But let's go ahead and take a look at Carolina. On defense, they are 15th in yards per game, 20th in rushing yards, 14th in passing yards, 13th in points per game. And then on offense, they are 19th in yards per game, 18th in rushing yards, 19th in passing yards, and 25th in points per game. Now, Kansas City, of course, they're a juggernaut. So, taking a look at their rankings on offense, they're 4th in yards per game, 12th in rushing yards, 4th in passing yards, and 2nd in points per game. Their defense, they're pretty stout. They're 10th in overall yards per game, 29th in rushing yards, 3rd in passing yards, and 3rd in points per game. Carolina should be getting back McCaffrey, so
yep.
I expect to see a lot of McCaffrey in this game, trying to keep the Chiefs' offense off off the field. So what do you think about this game?
That's the good news for the Panthers is that Christian McCaffrey will be returning after having the injury there. But the bad news is you're playing Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. So I'm going to believe that they're going to end up dominating this. They'll probably start off a little sluggish, but I give this one to the Chiefs as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Unless a miracle, barring a miracle. All right, on to the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. On offense, the Lions are 22nd in yards per game, 29th in rushing yards per game, 16th in passing yards per game, 17th in points per game. And on defense, they are 22nd in yards per game, 23rd in rushing yards per game, 19th in passing yards per game, and 26th in points per game. Now, Minnesota is, let me get this going here. Boom. Minnesota is, on offense, 16th in overall yards per game, 6th in rushing yards, 23rd in passing yards, 13th in points per game, and their defense is 29th in yards per game, 19th in rushing yards, 30th in passing yards, and 29th in points per game. Kirk Cousins, I don't know what happened. That guy, he's hot and cold, right? But Dalvin Cook is pretty dominant, so yeah. I expect to see him running a lot. But what do you think about this game?
Well, the thing is that, the Vikings got a big win last week. That could be a win that's going to push these guys. But like you say, Dalvin Cook is back. He was running wild again. The Detroit Lions, I think you're looking at Detroit. I know they got some weapons on offense, but I don't think this is their year again. So I'm going to say the Vikings. I think the Vikings get their third win of the season, and it's probably going to be big. If they continue pushing Dalvin Cook, I think they're going to get a big win against the Detroit Lions.
Okay. Well, I think Matthew Stafford's going to have a field day versus the Vikings passing defense. So I'll go with Detroit on this one. I think that Matthew Stafford, he's been throwing the ball for a long time now. I think that he's going to be able to strike quickly, and Kirk Cousins is just too shaky. So I'll take Detroit in this one.
And remember, the Vikings have won 5 straight games against Detroit.
Well, they'll probably break. This would be the game for Detroit to break the streak, right?
Right.
All right. Chicago and Tennessee. Here we go. Oh, Tiffany, hopefully y'all guys win, but we'll see, right? So Chicago coming in on defense, right? They're a defensive team, 12th in yards per game, 16th against the run, 12th against the pass, and 8th in points per game. Now on offense, they are 29th in yards per game, 31st in the rushing, as far as rushing yards per game, 22nd passing yards per game, and 28th points per game. Man, too bad Khalil Mack doesn't play offense, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. You know who does, though, is Trubinsky, but he's on the bench. But I hear a lot of people were looking for Trubinsky to be inserted in the game last week, and they lost. So I don't think they know who they want as quarterback down there. But I think you're going to look at this, and you're going to see 2 teams that are trying to find their way. Tennessee's lost 2 in a row, but I think Chicago is going to get the better of this weekend. I think Chicago is going to get these guys and get the win.
Well, let's see. They got the Titans. They have Derrick Henry, of course. And then the Bears, they are 16th versus the rush. I might take Tennessee on this one. All Ryan Tannehill has to do is hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, maybe make a few passes here and there to pick up some first downs so they're not, one-dimensional. But, as far as offense, the Tennessee Titans are 5th in yards per game, 4th in rushing yards, 18th in passing yards, and 6th in points per game. And on defense, they are 25th overall in yards, 22nd in rushing yards, 27th in passing yards, and 19th in points per game. So, we'll see. I think that Derrick Henry is going to stiff arm a few people and throw them onto the ground. That dude is a beast, man. I like watching him run. If he was faster, he would remind me of Bo Jackson.
If he wasn't so big, too.
Well, what's his stats? Well, I didn't look. He's what? 6. Bo was 6'2".
Oh, maybe they are comparable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's around the same size as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So on to New York and the Washington football team. What a generic name. That's so sad. But hey, these are the times, right? So here we are, New York.
Yeah.
The G-men on offense are 31st in yards per game, 27th in rushing yards, 28th in passing yards, and 31st in points per game. And on defense, they are 13th in overall yardage and 8th in rushing yards, 23rd in passing yards, and 14th, in points per game. Now the Giants are 1-7. They're struggling, and Washington is 2-5. And then on offense, they are 30th in yards per game, 26th in rushing yards, 29th in passing yards, and 30th in points per game. And then on defense, they are 4th overall yardage, 17th in rushing yards, 1st in passing yardage, and 11th in points per game. So, yeah, that's a pretty stout defense. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a hard time, because it's kind of sad, right? He said Daniel Jones here is like leading the team, the Giants, in rushing and passing. So, man, that's going to be tough. I'll take Washington on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, but not really. I mean, you look at what the New York Giants did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They actually almost pulled that game out, 25-23. They were in that game. A couple big bombs are caught, that he threw. I mean, that's a different ball game. So the Washington Redskins, they do have a pretty good defense for the most part, but I still think they're missing some pieces. New York Giants have beat them the last 4 times, so I'm going to give this one to the Giants. I think they get their second win of the year.
Well, there you go. That does make sense. And the Giants could have tied the game if it weren't for that flag being picked up on the 2-point conversion. So
flag, yeah. Pass interference, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool, yeah. Good thing we got you here, because I'm just reading stats.
I watch a little bit of football.
Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. All right, cool. So we'll get to our teams here last. Let's go ahead and look at Miami and Arizona. Miami, I don't know. Let's see. They're first on defense. They're first points per game, 20th in passing yards, 21st in rushing yards, 20th in overall yards, and on offense, 28th overall yards, 28th rushing yards, 21st passing yards, and 11th points per game. Arizona, they're pretty good. They're at 5-2. So on offense, they're first in yards per game, 2nd in rushing yards, 14th in passing yards, and 8th in points per game. And their defense is 22nd overall yards per game, 25th rushing yards per game, 18th passing yards per game, and 9th points per game. So who you got in this one?
Well, I mean, you got to look at this Miami defense that they have. They showed up. They helped out that young quarterback last week. They kept a lot of pressure off him. I mean, he only had 90 yards, but that defense scored twice. The special team scored once, and so they really helped him out. I don't know if you're going to be able to help out every week. So I think this is going to be a struggle. I think Carolina's get back in the winning way, and they're going to knock off the Miami Dolphins.
Too
many weapons down there for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the Cardinals on this one. I think Kyler Murray's got a better handle on this offense, and then they're pretty hot. They've been playing pretty well, especially at 5-2. Mm-hmm. That's a tough division though. Look at that: Seattle 6-1, Arizona 5-2, the Rams 5-3, and San Francisco 4-5. That's a pretty tough division.
Yeah, better than the NFC East.
Ooh, man. Oh yeah, Prime got the win last week, right? Poor Super Cowboy.
Yep.
All right, Pittsburgh and Dallas. Oh, speaking of Super Cowboy, Pittsburgh coming in 5th and 6th, pretty much. 5th in yards per game, 5th in rushing yards per game, 6th in passing yards per game, and 6th in points per game on defense. On offense, they are 25th yards per game, 16th rushing yards per game, 17th in passing yards, and 5th in points per game. So they are scoring. They are 7-0, the last remaining undefeated team in another tough division with Baltimore at 5-2 and Cleveland at 5-3. Let's see, Dallas, 2-6, tough luck. 20 on defense, 24th in overall yards per game, 32nd in rushing yards per game, 7th in passing yards per game, and 32nd in points per game. Now on offense, it says 7th in yards per game, but I don't think that doesn't count, and that doesn't factor in on this one. 21st in rushing yards per game, 1st in passing yards per game, and 24th in points per game. Of course, Dak Prescott is out. Is the Red Rocket supposed to return?
Dalton's out as well. Andy Dalton's out as well.
That's a tough sledding right there. Man, Ezekiel Elliott, this game's on him, right? If they're going to sneak out a win. But so, what do you
be
think?
big, but
Can the Cowboys? You know, it's any given Sunday. Can the Cowboys pull off an upset here? And
you know, it is any given Sunday, but it's just not this Sunday for the Dallas Cowboys. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, all they do is score. They scored 25 plus points 7 times this year, and that's a team record. So they're going to have the 8th game of 25 plus points against the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't think they have a defense, and with the weapons that the Pittsburgh Steelers have on offense, it's going to be a struggle for them. So I see the Steelers handily taking care of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, cool. Now the Monday night game, New England and the Jets. We got New England.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty sure you don't want the Patriots to win. Patriots.
Is it me or the Monday night football games turning into Thursday night football games? They're just yawners. I mean, come on.
It's been rough.
These guys, it's rough. This is a rough game. Patriots, Jets. I don't see. I mean, is there any way that the Jets could actually get their first win? I highly doubt it.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say too much because, you know, we went into New York last year and got our asses handed to them, or to us by them. So, you know, I don't know. But, yeah. Well, who do you got in this one? New England?
Yeah, I'm going to take New England. I think they'll bounce back. I think you're going to see a game that might be like 9-6.
God. All right, so the Chargers and the Raiders. The Chargers are coming in with 18th in yards on defense, 18th in yards per game, 13th in rushing yards, 21st in passing yards, 20th in points per game. But their offense, man, is pretty stout. You know, second in yards per game, 8th in rushing, 6th in passing, and 16th in points per game. I gotta say, Herbert, man, he's just another quarterback here in the division that can cause the Raiders problems for a long time. And then they got a pretty decent tight end and Hunter Henry. And then what's the homeboy's name? Keenan Allen. Yeah, that dude, a big target coming in the middle. And I've been looking at the highlights. This kid, Joshua Kelly, coming out of the backfield is pretty dangerous too. You know, but the Raiders, you know, on a second road game, you know, so I'm thinking they're pretty good. As long as our defense can show up like we did against Cleveland, minimize the big play. You know, because the Chargers, they start hot. So if we can kind of like keep them cool, you know, through the first half or whatnot and minimize the big plays in the second half and stay consistent, we might be able to get this game. But the one thing that does worry me about this game, though, is that we are terrible at keeping contained, and Herbert loves to break contain all the time. So I'm a little concerned about that. Also, we are not that great and pass coverage as far as tight ends. Corey Littleton, he's struggling in this defense, and Paul Gutham's defense. So I'm a little worried about Hunter Henry having a little breakout game here. But then again, hopefully, you know, Jonathan Abram is there to kind of squash all that. We definitely need our pass rush to show up, put some pressure on Herbert, and you know, I think he's got like 5 interceptions already. So, you know, we got to force some turnovers here. But I think this is going to be a little bit of a shootout. I got the Raiders winning 31-28. What do you think about this game?
Well, I mean, you look at Herbert right now. He's averaging 303.3 yards per game, and it's a rookie record for a quarterback in passing. But here's the thing the Raiders want to see. They want to see the Chargers jump out. They want to put up some points right on them quick because you know what? Chargers haven't been able to hold on to a lead. So you're definitely going to see a shootout. And I think the Raiders are definitely going to pull this one out. I just think that you got a young quarterback there is still trying to develop, and they have some pieces, but they don't have enough pieces around this Chargers quarterback. So I see the Raiders taking this one in a shootout.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate that. Hey, all right, so the game of the week, Seattle and Buffalo. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this one. How do you see this going down?
Well, you got to look at it. First of all, you got to look at the injuries right now that are across the board on both these teams. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks are going to be without their starting right guard, their starting left guard, their pass rusher, and their quarterback. And then you look at the Buffalo Bills as well, where Mitch Morris, Matt Milano, Tawan Jones, Josh Norman, TJ Yeldon. So it's going to be what team can put the big plays together. And it seems like the Seattle Seahawks have been doing that all year. But now they're going against a defense who's given up some yards on the ground, but they have not given up those big plays. So if Buffalo can contain them and hold them from giving up those big plays, Buffalo's probably going to have a chance in this game. It could be a high-scoring game. It could be a shootout. The weather's supposed to be nice up in Buffalo this weekend. So I mean, as much as I'd like to see the Bills win this one, I don't think we're going to pull this one out. I think we're going to lose at least by 7 points. I hate to say it, Bills
Oh
Mafia, but
man.
yeah, it's a tough team coming in the house. They got some weapons, and they got Russell Wilson.
Yeah. But I'm looking at this. The Legion of Boom is no longer. The Seahawks are 32nd in passing yards. So maybe I'm going to go with you and Tiffany's team right here. I'm going to say that y'all win this one. I'm going to say y'all win this one.
Hey, I need all the help we can get, to be honest with you.
Even though that breaks my heart to say it, though, dude, because y'all got that tiebreaker over us. But if the like we were talking about the NFL, if they're going to expand it to 16 teams, we still got a shot. We still got a shot. All right, cool.
Well, we just got to win the division, our division.
Yeah, well, that's going to be tough sledding for us. All right, and so then congratulations to the Packer fans out there. Y'all bounced back from that Buccaneers loss, and y'all scored 34 points on the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers suffering that Super Bowl hangover. Man, tough. And now Garoppolo's hurt. Kittle's out. They're just going to keep falling, I think. So what do you got any thoughts on this game?
Well, last night's game you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh my God, what do you want to say? I mean, Aaron Rodgers just showed up. I mean, that's all he had to do was show up. But they also got Jones back, and that's a big player for this offense. I think once he's in there, and now you got to kind of focus on him. He didn't get as many touches as I would have liked because I carry him on my fantasy team. But I mean, he still was a difference maker in that game, and he did open up things for Aaron Rodgers. But again, that defense, that team of the 49ers, they're definitely dealing with the injury bug. You don't want to see any player get hurt, but to see stars like Kittle and Garoppolo go down, it's just another reason why this NFL needs OTAs, mini camps, and we really need the preseason so these guys don't have to get these injuries. And that's what's happening now across the NFL. A lot of superstars are going down. We wish everybody on the 49ers team health. I hope they come back nice and healthy. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers showed up.
Yeah, missing the preseason really did hurt the team overall. And then it's really, the offense always comes out ahead of the defense, and now there's no crowds, and so the offense is even running smoother. These defenses are way behind. But, I mean, here we are, week 8, man. It's going to be tough, but, yeah.
Week 9.
Week 9, excuse me. Yeah, week 9. But, all right,
I got you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so on to the game, the Sunday night football game, which we have our guests, Mooky Bucs and Signature Saint, coming in to talk about this game with us. Both members of the Elite SuperFan group. So we'll go ahead and get them unmuted and bring them on in. Mooky, man, that's a badass mask, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing tonight?
What's going on?
Just doing the
How
show,
you doing,
man.
Fred?
I'm great.
So Mooky, I gotta say, I'm a little jealous, man. You didn't have that mask when you came on my channel, dude. The first time.
Fred, I actually debuted it that weekend that we played you guys. So it wasn't exactly completely ready, but they got it ready for me for the actual game. So I debuted it that game at when we held the watch party out here and when we played you guys a couple weeks ago.
That's pretty cool. Thanks for reminding me about that game. Though. I was trying to forget it.
It was a great first half.
All right, cool. And Signature, man, have you got any new autographs?
Not yet, but I was speaking with Deontay Harris last night. I did get Justin Hardy about a month ago, but Deontay Harris messaged me last night asking why I haven't reached out to him yet. He was feeling a little played.
Uh-oh.
So probably in a week, either this week or next week, I'll be meeting up with him.
Well, there you go, man. That's cool.
So, yeah.
So both of you guys are super fans. So Brian, how long have you been a super fan?
Basically, last season was my first season, but I've been doing autographs for about 10 years now.
So what do you mean by autographs? You get out, you go.
It's covering my back. I get the players to sign me and sign me with a Sharpie, and I go straight to the tattoo shop and get it tattooed in. I'm up to 76 now.
Are you kidding? Wow, that is unique, man. Hey, you're taking them with you wherever you go. That's freaking
Everywhere
cool.
I go. Should I show you my back?
No, that's all right. I believe you.
He said no. It's all right. Look at this, dude. This dude's crazy. You can see it on
Wow.
his Facebook page.
Yeah, that's diehard. I
Yeah.
think we can need to. Tiffany might need to get some tattoos. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Homer?
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's behind. All right, we'll turn to you, Mookie. How long you been a Bucks fan?
I've been a Bucks fan for about 25 years now, I'd say. So ever since I moved out here to Vegas, started playing high school defense for my team, and the Bucks were the hottest, defense around. So I jumped on the bandwagon and I've rode it out ever since. Nevada never had a team at that point, obviously, 25 years ago or so. So, yeah, here I am, man, and I'm just loving it. I've been holding draft parties out here for Bucks fans for the last 4 years now, out there on Fremont Street, and it just became more than what I expected it to be. And before I knew it, had people from all over the country coming out.
So, how many Buck tattoos do you have?
I'm working on it. I don't have one yet, actually. We'll see what happens.
So, Brian's ahead of everybody when it comes to the tattoos of the teams. I got it. I got to do some work myself. What do you think, Homer? Got to catch up or what?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get some tats, but I don't know about signatures, man. That's signature Saints little thing now. I'll just let them have it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, all right. Cool. So here we go, guys. You're right, y'all. The Saints are 5-2. The Bucks are 6-2. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady yet again. They're battling each other for the all-time record for touchdown passes. Man, this is gonna be a tough game. It's definitely a game that we could probably see in the playoffs. So what do y'all think? How y'all think it's gonna go down? Let's go with Mookie.
I mean, we've got revenge. We've got a lot of revenge. They caught us at our first game and a little off and learning each other. And I mean, I don't have to speak for Tom Brady, of course, but I'm going to speak on our defense and just remind everybody that they're out there for killing. I'm sure you've got those numbers there, Homer, because you're key at those. But
I can read numbers. Yes.
yeah. So I know what kind of defense those Saints are going to face, and they didn't face that same defense week one. That's all I'm going to say and leave it at that.
Yeah, it's a tough defense. Third overall, or third in yards per game, first in rushing yards per game, 13th in passing yards, and 7th in points per game. So definitely a tough defense. You got some linebackers that like to fly around. You got a good aggressive defensive line. It was nasty to play y'all guys, that's for sure.
So, do you think, Mookie? So, do you think last week that they were overlooking the New York Giants? Do you think that they didn't take a 1-7 team too serious, or they were just looking ahead to the Saints game?
I think every team will say that there's always that young quarterback that has their number, and you see what Daniel Jones did to us last year. I mean, I'm not going to say any names. I like to say he's our ex-girlfriend, and he actually is on our division rivals team there on the bench. But he had a lot to do with that game last year. But as far as this game this year, I think we were, like you just said, we were looking past that team and studying this week's game being so important. And this is the game of our season. I mean, this is going to tell us where we're going to be here in the next 5-6 weeks come playoff time. And where we're going to stand in our division, because this team is no joke, and they've got a lot of weapons, and at the end of the day, it's going to be what defense shows out. And like I said, this young defense of mine is no joke to play with right now.
And the last time you guys played was September 13th, where the New Orleans Saints actually got them 34-23. Brian, do you see something like that as a score for this coming game too? And who do you think your X factor is facing the Bucs defense?
Well, I mean, we getting all our receivers back. Our offense is going to be back full force again. We got Michael Thomas coming back, all the rest of the guys coming back and everything like that. Yeah, they do have a defense against us, but then I mean, once we got Thomas back full force and everybody else, I think that's what's going to cause us to end up with our little victory again. I don't see it's going to be that big of a difference. I hope it's not an overtime game, but I mean, we're going to take them again. But with that, with the offense, I mean, they do have a defense that we've been watching, but And unfortunately, yeah, they do have Tom Brady in there with a little more time in the seat with his team now, but I still don't think it's going to help.
I mean, you got a pretty good defense against the rush, though. Third against the rush, 17th against the pass, 23rd in points per game, and then 8th overall for yards. But I mean, any
And I
given
do know
Sunday,
we did just sign Quan Alexander too, so hopefully he gets enough practice in before this weekend.
Is he
Well,
going to be
the
ready with
Saints had a
COVID
tough
and
game last
everything?
weekend, and they ended up pulling it out. But I mean, you got to look at this. This is going to be a game of two of the NFL's top passing quarterbacks. So
yeah,
this is a perfect game for Sunday Night Football, and I think the defenses are not even going to be showing up. I think this is going to be an all-out shootout between two offensive-minded coaches and two offensive that like to air out the ball. And with Michael Thomas returning, hopefully that takes a little bit of pressure off Drew Brees. So now he can relax. His boys back there now. So we'll see
yeah,
if that helps.
Yeah.
But
it
I
should
got a
help.
question for Mooky. So what do you think about the AB being on the team and finally getting a chance to play in a Bucs uniform?
Listen, that guy there, as long as he stays out of my locker room and performs on the field, I mean, he's just a decoy, man. I mean, what is that defensive coordinator going to do now? You know, you have Mike Evans. They're saying that Godwin could play Sunday. He's a possibility. He just got moved up. So I mean, if you get all three of those guys lined up plus a tight end, you know, whether it be Brait or do I have to say Gronk? I mean, it's deadly. You know, who are you gonna cover? You got to go man, or you got to obviously probably go zone or something. You know, into those realms. And I mean, I don't know. Good luck. You can no longer double up Mike Evans at that point.
Yeah, well, AB's probably going to be a little bit of rusty, so we'll see. I mean, I hear the rumors are he's staying with Tom Brady down in Florida.
Yeah. I got to tell you a little something. I got a 14-year-old son, and the crack that he put there was, he goes, "Pops, we got to watch Tom Brady's wife. Baby's in the house."
Oh my God! Don't let Tom hear you say that.
Yeah. So, like I said, if he stays out of the locker room and does what he does on the field, I think he'll be. I wasn't too excited about it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we have a lot of young guys that deserve a chance and that were proving themselves. And now, obviously, you're gonna have to get him the ball. So that eliminates those young guys, and we'll see what happens. I mean, they're all in at this point.
You there, Homer?
Yeah, no, I'm just checking out the last game that they played. You know, the Saints won.
Yeah, 34-23.
Yeah, on 9-13-20. I'm just checking out, but so I would think that y'all's best shot is to get sacks on Brady, but you only have like 9 sacks, but y'all have given up 19, so that's not good against a really good defense. So yeah, this one's gonna be tough. But you know what? I mean, if Drew Brees can air it out, you know, especially like we were talking about with Michael Thomas coming back, that gives y'all a shot. But yeah, now with AB, man, you know, well, he hasn't played in a couple years, so we'll see what happens. Of course, they said he's in great shape, but that dude's a head case, man. He could be gone tomorrow, you know. But yeah, that's definitely a tough offense to stop. The Saints, like I said, 17th, so they're definitely going to be passing it all over the place on the Saints. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tough one, signature, man. It's gonna be a tough one. But
It is. It is.
Yeah, but you got to look at
somebody's
it
got to
like this.
stop him.
If it comes down to a close game, I mean, I would rather have Drew Brees as my quarterback if it comes down to a close game than Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady's vulnerable. I mean, if they get pressure on Tom, you're going to get him frustrated. Who knows if he throws picks or anything, you know? But I mean, it's possible if you can get and hit bodies on Drew. I'm sorry, on Tom Brady, you're going to move him off the spot and you're going to frazzle him. So that's the thing right now. Saints got to try to generate some pressure, put some pressure on Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's what it takes. You know, he's not very mobile anymore. But we couldn't get to him. But of course, we have a terrible defensive line. But then again, the Saints, like I said, 9 sacks for their defense. we only have 7, so it's about the same. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I will say this, giving the Saints a little bit of a credit. One of our offensive linemen, and Ali Marpet, he's in concussion protocol, and that guy he's a deadly weapon on our line. And of course, we've got to contain Cameron Jordan. You know, he hates Tampa Bay Buccaneers too with a passion, and our rookie got a hold of him last game and held up with him. So I think he's gonna have a little bit of a obviously a challenge that game against Cam Jordan, but yeah, man, if we could disrupt Drew Brees like we did Brett Favre a couple weeks ago, uh, you know, that's where it's gonna stop right there because I know we can stop the run game. That's for sure.
Yeah,
That's,
you got it.
yeah, you got to worry about the Saints running game as well, though, too, because Alvin Kamara's he's a beast. Whether he's coming out of the backfield
Right.
for a pass or he's running the ball, and then you got to look at the same thing with the Buccaneers. Fournette's been running hard for them as well. So I think both these teams match up well together, and I think it's going to be who's going to win this game. It's going to come down to who can eliminate mistakes, who can avoid the turnovers, and the winner is probably likely going to be who can win that turnover battle. And most of these important games like this, they're won in the trenches, and both have a stout offensive line and a stout defensive line. So it's a battle of the trenches again.
Yeah, well, the Saints are third in rushing yards, so this is probably gonna be turned into an all-out air game. Aerial
Yep.
assault. So high
And it's also
scoring.
gonna come down how healthy is Michael Thomas too. He's missed some time, so
Yeah.
returning sometimes you might have to knock off some of the cobwebs and the rust. So
Well, then let's get some predictions. How about you? We'll start with you, Signature Saint.
I'm gonna say, Saints gonna win. I'm always gonna say that.
Of course.
34-28 maybe at
All
the
right.
closest.
Okay. Mookie.
I like that prediction a lot. I definitely think that it's gonna the winner, which will be the Bucs, of course, will definitely go over 30 points. And I'm gonna call out a crazy one. You're gonna see a safety. So yeah, look for a safety in this game. I'm gonna call it now. So that it'll put that close margin and win factor where it needs to be with that safety.
So who do you think is the X factor on the offensive side for you, Mookie? Who do you think is going to be the game changer this week?
By all means, Mike Evans is going to shine and show this week. He won't have as much double coverage, and him and Tom Brady have been finding each other. It's time for him to have a breakout game. He's been having little spots. I think in Denver it was crazy. I was talking to have 2 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 receptions. I mean, what kind of numbers are that for a top 5 wide receiver? So it's time for him to take it big in this game.
What about you, Brian? For the help win this game for the Saints.
I'm gonna say Jared Cook because they're gonna be looking at Michael Thomas and Kamara, and I think Cooks is gonna have a nice little game this week.
And he actually recorded a touchdown last week as well, right? He caught him in the back of the end zone. Breeze
Yeah.
did, yep. Yeah, I can see that. Both of those guys are good game changers themselves. So yeah, I can see that. Definitely can see that. So Homer, who do you see taking this one?
Well, I mean, the Saints have never really beaten us in the playoff in the Super Bowl, or we beat y'all last couple of times that we played y'all. So I'm gonna go with the Saints. Sorry, Mook, man. You guys kicked our ass in the fourth quarter of last game, man. So I'm definitely not gonna pick the Bucs, man. I'm still a little bitter about that, but I'll just go with the Saints. We'll say probably something like 34-31 Saints. Gonna be a high scoring game. Fourth quarter comeback. Westlake alum Drew Brees. Come on, Austin, Texas native. Gonna come back at the end of the game and bring the Saints bring a victory to the Saints.
I'm actually gonna take the Bucs, and I'm saying the only reason why I'm saying that is I just think that the Buccaneers right now player Mike Thomas is returning to the field, and the fact is that these guys Tom Brady will keep these guys in line. He's got his safety net and Gronkowski, so if he gets going, he's a big body to tackle down the seam. And I can see this game getting right around 40 points, both sides. Maybe get into overtime and the Bucs squeak it out with a kick, but I just see the Bucs are too powerful on the offensive side of the ball.
My heart can't take another overtime game.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room on our bandwagon if you're interested. We're the Cardiac Bills, so it doesn't get any hairier or scarier on Sundays than watching the Buffalo Bills play.
We've had 2 overtime wins.
Or the Bucs at that. The Bills and the Bucs, man. Browns seems like any team with the letter B in it, they have a hard time hitting the playoffs before you guys made it, last year, whatnot. Man.
Yep. Yeah, but the Bucs, they got a good head coach over there, so he's offensive minded, so he'll get them focused. Like I said, once the Dodgers won the World Series, I was happy because I was worried that we're going to see the Tampa Bay Lightning, won the Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay Rays are going to win the World Series. And then, of course, in the NFL, I don't want to see Tom Brady hoist another Super Bowl trophy. I've seen enough.
I tell all my Bucs fans, I won't buy a Tom Brady jersey until he brings that championship home, baby. So, hey, it's coming. I'm telling you that.
I hope you don't buy one then.
Well, your closet's safe.
No, it's coming. Man,
yeah.
He's got to match his boy LeBron,
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
All right, cool. So,
game definitely going to be one for the books and one to watch for Sunday night. I mean, get your popcorn ready because I know you mentioned earlier, Fred, that there's a record that's going to be going back and forth. So definitely. I don't like what the Giants did to us in the long ball last week. So I hope that they've fixed that. Going into against the Saints with their hot wide receivers and whatnot. But our defense will be ready. Like I said, watch that defense, man. The defense is going to be they're going to get to breeze. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a show you want to watch.
Yep.
All right, cool. So, Mooky, tell Elite Superfans how they can find you on social media.
So, I'm on Facebook under Mooky Bucs Mike Tiss. You can find me. I'm running with the Buckaholics is the fan page that we run. Local group, Buckaholics Nevada. And anytime that you're in Vegas, please give me a holler. I'd love to have a drink with you.
Are you buying?
I don't buy. I'm in the business. I always make the bartender buy or who I know.
Nice. Either way, it's free.
So neither of us will be buying.
Perfect. Send the bill to Tiffany.
All right, Brian, tell Elite Superfans how to find you on social media.
Well, my Facebook, Brian's Signature Saint Henry, or the fan page is The Signature Saint. I mean, and I got Instagram and Twitter, which is Signature Saint 81. But yeah, that's pretty much where it's at.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, man, looking forward to seeing this game. Thanks to both of y'all for coming on the Elite Superfan Show. You got anything else you want to add, Fred?
No, I just want to thank both you, Brian and Mooky, for joining the show. I mean, it was great mingling with you guys. I wish both your teams good luck. I mean, maybe it'll be a tie. You don't know. It is the NFL. I mean,
no, I can't handle that.
It was nice meeting you guys, and like I said, best of luck to your team for the remainder of the season, and stay healthy.
Thank you guys for having me as always, and Elite Super Fans, you guys rock. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Keep doing what you're doing, Raider Homer, and you guys kick ass, man.
Appreciate it.
Good luck, Brian.
You too, man. Thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Mooky Bucs and Signature Saint from the Elite Superfans group. Check them out on social media, and make sure you watch that game this weekend on Sunday Night Football. All right, so Fred, I know you have some work put in for the fantasy football.
Yes.
As far as your players you think people should play?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I mean, we touched on it a little bit already, but we talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers Dallas Cowboy game. I mean, definitely, if you have Dallas Cowboys right now and you have them on defense, I would not play them. I wouldn't play them at all. And I would play any wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would recommend picking them up if you don't have them, but actually, I would definitely make sure that you guys have them in your lineup. And if you're looking for a quarterback, I mean, Drew Lock for the Denver Broncos. He's going up against Atlanta. They have a porous defense, like we touched on, and his wide receiver is getting healthy. So if you need a quarterback, you got a quarterback on the bye. He's definitely one to pick up. And if you're looking for a running back, I mean, the Buffalo Bills are playing Seattle Seahawks. I know they got a bunch of banged up running backs over there, but DJ Dallas is probably going to be the starter. He's going to be the workhorse. And the Buffalo Bills have been giving up a lot of yards on the ground. So if you're looking for a running back, he's someone to pick up. And Christian McCaffrey, if you got him in your lineup, you've had him on your bench, it's time to pull him off the bench, put him in the lineup. He's healthy again. He's going to be ready to play. And same with Michael Thomas. The wide receiver, he's finally healthy again. He's going to be playing. If he was on your bench all this time, it's time to put him back in the lineup, let him get some points. And one other sleeper that I have, he's not really a sleeper, but if you're looking for a running back, Kenyon Drake is not playing this weekend, and it looks like Chase Edmonds is going to get to work against the Miami Dolphins. They have been giving up some yards on the ground, so if you need a running back, if he's available, which I think he is in most PPRs, I would go ahead and pick up Chase Edmonds and put him in there, and you'll be surprised because this kid, he's been averaging about 6 yards per carry, so he's definitely one you want to pick up. And then another one, I got someone you want to sit. I know it doesn't sound right, but if you got him in your lineup, you might want to sit Ezekiel Elliott. He's going up against them Pittsburgh Steelers, and I mean they're only allowing 80 yards rushing per game. So if you got Ezekiel Elliott in there, it's just going to definitely sit him. So that's what I have for fantasy football. You guys have any questions? Follow us on the show, and we'll be happy to help you out, help you find someone to start or find someone to sit. We're always here.
I got some suggestions. You can start Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, and Henry Ruggs. Start those guys, all right?
So you heard it from Homer. Anybody that wears a black and silver uniform, go ahead and put them in your lineup.
You're going to win, man. You're going to win, I promise. All right, cool. Man. Well, I appreciate the work. Let's take a look at the
chat.
The
end of the season.
Oh man! And if you don't want them, trade them to me. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Someone's always looking to trade.
All right, cool. Let's give some shout outs to the chat line. We got Chile Toronto. Tiffany, I'm so sorry that I confused you as a Titans fan. That's right. You only live in Tennessee. Please forgive me. Then Bocadillos are in here.
Her daughter probably appreciated you calling her a Titan fan.
She said I was grounded, man, so hopefully not for very long. Kirk's in here. Ronald's in here. What's up, brother? Let's see. Power Raiders in here. Let's see. We got Brian, Olive, Jason Dean Hunter was in here. Lots of the Raider Nation showing up. Billy Flores.
Perfect. We need all the followers.
Oh yeah. We got yeah, see, I'm grounded. Oh look, Signature Saints in here. Cool. Yeah, that's I think about it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. All right, cool. So shout out to the chat line. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sending out the chats, man. Yeah. Anything else Fred, you got anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah. Hey, be sure to follow the Elite Super Fans, the page. Be sure to follow their group. They're also on Instagram. And like, you have any foundations or anything you want to share, pass them along to us. Any donations, charities, and stuff like that, we're here to help out. And be sure to follow us and catch our show every Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's my time zone, which is 9 o'clock Eastern time. So, and just follow us, like, and share. That's all we ask.
All right, cool. We'll see you next week, Elite Super Fans.